This is a video about the alternative foot pedals, the M gear. So this is the original one that I've got, and there's a video on YouTube which shows what I've done on the inside. It just shows the end result of removing all of the guff that we don't need. This is a brand spanking new one. It's been rebranded. This is M Audio. This one is the M Gear EXP. This is the M Audio EXP. They're from the same German company, but this one here is the addition on the back is that it's been made in China. It's just as good, but there are slight differences. I've taken the plugs off the end, the audio plugs off the end. You can use them, and they sometimes work, but I found them a bit intermittent, and it could be that I've just got crappy sockets. But there's also a difference in the cables coming out. This is a new one. Put it that way round. This one has extra shielding in it, and it's got a red and a black wire, and this one has a white and a red wire, and I'll show you what I do to the insides. I have actually used this new one and connected it straight into the controller, and that does work. But it does have an extra resistor in here, which means that it doesn't go down to zero, and I don't think it works quite as well as the other one where I've taken everything out. So I'm going to take everything out of this one, and I'll show you how I do that. So you can see there's a load of guff in there. There's the extra resistor here. There's also a trimmer pot that they use here. There's a little dial at the side here. So and there's a switch here which enables you to reverse the polarity. Well, we don't need any of that stuff in this, and so I'm going to show you how I actually remove that. You will need a soldering iron though, and you'll need something like this. This is a solder pump which you put on you heat up the solder, and then it sucks up the solder and removes some of that, and I'll show you how I do that as well. Okay, so I'm just removing a plastic clip, cable tie here. Gives this a little bit more room. We don't need this. I'm just undoing the lock nut on the potentiometer here. to lift that out and then lift it off that peg. So what we have is that, and we're going to have to remove this board here. We can leave that on, we don't need to take that off just yet. And what I'll do is I'll heat up these elements here. I'll put the solder pump on there, suck off the solder, and then we can remove this board and connect these 3 wires directly into it. I'll take that one off there. Get that out of the way. Okay. And voila, it comes off. Makes life a lot easier. So we can fit this potentiometer back in. We hook that over there first. Turn this around so that there's a tab here, and that goes at the top. Undo the nut completely so that it can move off, and the tab then fits in on there, and then we can do the nut up. So that's nicely secured. See that operates okay? Yeah. Right, so we need to connect the wires up, and it's not that important which ones go where, as long as the other end connects up correctly. But I'll do this the same as I've got on the other pedal. So what I've got there is black on the top, red on the other side, the bottom, and the white one is in the middle. A bit more solder. I think that will do it. Now we can put that back and give that a test. Just as an aside, the potentiometer in this one is 10k, 10 kilo ohms. The one that comes with the speed controller is 100 kilo ohms, and the one that is in the M gear foot pedal is a 12 kilo ohms. So it doesn't actually make any difference because there's some smart stuff, I believe, in the PWM speed controller, which will map that onto correct values that you need to control the power. So this is a shot of the solder pump. I don't think it's saw completely in the other shots. And you push that down to prime it, and then let it go, and that sucks up the pump. This is just a cheap one that I bought off Amazon. And just for completeness, here's the controller with the new foot pedal connected up. Goes down to 0, goes up to 100, and it's nice and smooth, and you can see how that's working with the accelerator. Finer and finer, harder and harder, and there we go. Yes, you can actually use one of these to hook up and use it as the frequency controller, or the strike controller, number of strikes per minute. They'll need a slightly different configuration in the Uno, and I'll do a sketch at some point and do a video of that, hooking that up. But it's should be very, very straightforward. Okay.